What is going on, guys? It is your boy Alex here. Welcome back to another video. If you guys are new to this channel, this is where I talk about some finance, passive income, things that are going on in today's society, some current events, and a whole lot more other things. So if you enjoy stuff like that, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe so that you guys can be notified on all my future uploads. Now, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about something that a lot of people are underestimating, and that's going to be the crisis that is awaiting for us. Now, I have been seeing a lot of people talking about the 2021 housing crash or crisis. I really believe that people are truly underestimating what is dawning upon us and how it's going to affect us in the future years to come. Now, I know there are people talking about the 2021 crash, and that is definitely something that is in the crosshairs, but this is going to be something that's going to be following us for so many years to come. And this is why I wanted to talk about what's being predicted for 2022. Now, I get my information from a multitude of places, a lot of different sources where people who are real estate agents, investors, and all the key players that are in the team who create the process that allows you to go ahead and get a finance on a home or get yourself a mortgage, or even people who are cash buyers. All these people are very close-knit together, and so there's no better resources than to talk to these people who are pushing loans and experiencing everything that's been going on, because at the end of the day, these are the people who are going to see things firsthand before anyone else, and I find them extremely viable resources to use, and that's why I go ahead and I pick their brains. Then once you put all that information together, you can put together a very well-educated guess. Now, of course, no one has a crystal ball, and no one can tell you that the market is going to crash the year of 2021, or that we're about to go through the largest forbearance of mortgage foreclosures in 2022. However, you can look at all this information and data and see where we are heading and what could be the possible outcome of this all. So in today's video, I'm going to be bringing you guys awareness of what is actually happening to us with some numbers, and I am based out of Miami, so I'm going to be using some Miami numbers. Now, this is a good place when it comes to real estate because things are expensive here, supply is low, demand is high. There are many avid investors here, and this is a hot spot where a lot of people would like to own real estate because rents are high. But now the prices are getting even higher, which is kind of causing a problem, making some of the investments not only not make sense as far as return on your investments, but it's becoming very difficult to own property out here as things have been getting more and more inflated. Lately, I've been scouring the market looking for some properties that I could potentially buy and rent out in the near future, but unfortunately things are not looking so well. Prices are really hiked up. Now, I was looking at a 2-bedroom, 1-bath earlier today, and it was sitting around $120,000. Good news is there was no rental restrictions, so it's not something that I would have to hold for a year in order to go ahead and rent out to somebody. So the property is located next to some really good schools. They're all rated A+. There's a couple of them. There's a middle school, a high school, and even an elementary school, which is a big pro. And it's located near some really nice plazas. You can get to Walmart, Publix, gas stations, a lot of the amenities that people would need to live near in order to make life a bit easier and to make the unit more desirable. For that 2-bedroom unit, I could receive about $1,400 a month with long-term hopes of appreciation, which is the ultimate goal for me. I like to receive rental income, but it wasn't the best of all the options that I've seen in the past, and as I've waited longer and longer to look into properties, things are getting worse, prices are getting higher, options are getting slim, which leads us to believe that we're in a giant bubble that could possibly be popping very soon. And this is not necessarily a good thing because a lot of people are going to be on the back end of this pop, and these are people that are losing their homes. It's not just investors that have tons and tons of properties. It's not like they're sitting in abundance with multiple properties on hand. These are people's homes that are no longer going to be able to pay their mortgage, which in turn will put them in a very tough position. They could be getting evicted. The bank might want their home back. The landlord might want them out, and this is not a good recipe for people, especially in a time like this where funds is tight and it's very hard to make an income, especially if you've been furloughed or kicked out of your job. And this is what the masses of people are experiencing by the millions, and this could eventually lead to something very, very bad. Now, not necessarily as bad as the '08 crash, but it could definitely be something very near, and you never know, it could be worse. Now, if any of you guys are interested to know how I go around looking and researching properties to see what might be in my interest or something that I could possibly buy and flip, I use something called the MLS matrix, which is something that we use down here in Miami. It allows you to see all the current listings, all the active ones, things that have been decreased, things that are pending. Now, unfortunately, if you were interested in trying to use this method to find properties, you wouldn't be able to because you need to be a real estate agent and have your license hung with a broker. So unfortunately, it won't be able to work out if you guys wanted to try to do it my way. But there are many ways to do it, and if you didn't want to do it yourself, you could always get an agent to do it for you. So it's no secret that home loans are in serious delinquency right now. This is an extremely sensitive topic, and it is affecting many people by the hundreds and thousands, even millions. And unfortunately, it's something that has become a plague that has been more and more reality for us. And in order to be in the delinquency status, you would need to have missed out on your payments for about 90 days or longer. According to the Miami Agent article that I was reading, they do believe that the amount of those foreclosures and delinquencies could even double by 2022. So by the year 2022, they're expecting to see even double of what they're seeing now. And the scariest part about it is they haven't even seen much yet. So since the month of June, nationally, there's been about 7.1% in homes that are in delinquency status or not able to make their payments, and this is spread out throughout the whole country. But for a while, as the labor statistics were increasing, the numbers began to get a little bit more dampened, and it was starting to actually go down as far as people who were facing these issues until things kicked back up. So as of the month of April this year, the average rate of stage 1 delinquencies was 3.4%. That was the peak of this year. And good news is that it's slightly going down now at about 1%. This is mainly due to the improvement in the labor markets lately, adding on jobs and getting more people out there in the workforce. But these statistics and these numbers don't necessarily shield people from ending up on the street if this problem is not addressed properly. Not only will it affect people, because that's the most important thing above all, this will then snowball effect into people having a deeply discounted sale on their house because they're distressed, which will also hurt the housing market because people are going to be selling their homes way less than what they're actually worth due to the fact that they need to fix their problems immediately when it comes to their finances. Now, home prices will be hit hard because of distressed sales. Now, when people are put in a tough situation and they don't know what to do and they need money, they're going to go ahead and start selling and liquidating whatever assets that they have. And one of the most common things that people hold amongst their assets is their primary home or secondary homes, investment properties, rental properties. Those are things that can be discarded in the event that you get caught in a bad situation and you need to sell some things to get some cash back. So as stress goes up and income goes down, this causes people to sell things on short notice, which then becomes a distressed market because people are selling things way undervalued, which could be a good thing for investors who are waiting for something like this to happen. But ultimately, it's a very bad thing for the people, and it's something that happens that we see on a regular cycle every couple of years. Now, we don't know the intensity of what's about to happen for the year coming and the year following and the years following that, but it's always good to understand what type of things you can do in order to maybe stay away from selling your property at a very bad time. When this happens all at the same time, this is when the supply becomes extremely high and the demand is not so high. Because of the money and everything along with it that is pointing to a bad future, people kind of get more reserved and it gets really tough. This is just going to push homeowners further down into delinquency. And as good as mortgage forbearance sounds, there is some strings attached to it. There is no doubt that it's been an extremely important tool to help homeowners through the financial crisis, but there could be a full swing at the end of it when people are expected to pay those payments back. So since the month of June, cities like Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and West Palm Beach have had a 13.4% delinquency rating of 30 days or more, which is about double compared to last year at about 5.3%, which means we're slowly beginning to gravitate into larger numbers, which is going to only be tougher for us to get out of in the long run. The higher these numbers get, the harder it's going to be to dig us out of this hole, and it seems like we're only just beginning, and so it's going to be extremely tough, but hopefully everyone ends up well and gets out of this safely. Like usual, we always end up getting through this. It just takes a little bit of patience and some smart decisions, so hopefully everyone is doing okay. So that's going to be the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. Smash that like button, lets me know I'm doing a good job. And we'll be seeing you guys on the next one. Hope you enjoyed. Peace.